Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and the grieving families of those who have been taken before their time. It is I, Alistair Crowley III, Deputy of Common Sense, and your sovereign of somber soliloquies. Last week, the world was rocked by tragedy. 50 voices cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced, and 50 more lie hospitalized. A vicious, amoral monster devised a plan to pit us all against each other. And a lot of you are letting him win. You'll see how in just a tick. Renfield, launch the damn intro.
There is nothing wrong with your browser. Do not attempt to refresh the page. We are now controlling all that you see and hear. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can delude you with 1,000 videos or expand one single frame to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can design. We shall control all that you perceive until we see fit to release you. You are about to experience the depths of depravity that reach from the folly of human pursuits to the Deputy of Common Sense. Please stand by.
Hear me, people of the world! I am burdened by sorrow, war, and discrimination. Malicious deeds carried out by the wicked, and political puppeteers continue to work your strings as though you were marionettes. The same abhorrent interplay of tragedy and comedy. The world has not changed. The people still suffer. That is why events such as these continue to play out. We are all actors on the stage of life. And last week, the world was brought to its knees once again by an atrocity. At 1:40 p.m. on Friday, March 15th, an amoral man carried out a vicious attack upon a mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand. This attack continued at a local Islamic center, leaving 50 dead and another 50 injured. Their screams for mercy have rocked the world on its hinges. Why did this man do such a thing? Is it representative of conservative ideology as a whole? Does the world need to further restrict gun ownership? I'll answer the last two questions first. No and no. Now I'll tell you why by answering the first question. This man was not a conservative. This man, by his own admission, was disgusted at what he called conservative weakness. This man was not a liberal either. He was a fringe right-wing psychopath who believed that conservatives were too weak to create the world that he desired. This man was an extreme white supremacist who hated all non-whites, but especially Muslims. That's a fact. But you know what? That was not why he did this. He did not kill these people simply because he hated them. No. This man had a plan. A plan which is admittedly genius because it's working quite well on you gullible toads. The shooter had one goal in mind: division. He wanted the left and the right at each other's throats. His goal was to make the United States ban firearms, causing the divide between American politics to escalate into full-blown civil war. And he hoped that out of the ashes, his ethno-state would be born. He wanted you to all turn on each other. He wanted you to attack each other. He wanted you to kill each other, and he wanted you all to burn everything you've worked to create. He wanted you to burn everything you've created to the ground, all so his dream could be achieved. This is literally what he wanted. He wanted to see your country burn. This is not a conspiracy theory. Everything I've said is right there in his manifesto, which you would know if any of you had bothered to read it. But you know what scares me the most? The possibility that you did read it. That you did read it. That you did understand what he said. That you did understand what he wanted you to do. And that you didn't care. I'm afraid of the possibility that you looked at his manifesto, you understood it, and you said, fuck logic, fuck reason, fuck trying to embrace your better natures. You saw an opportunity to score political points, and you seized it in your greedy little paws. Don't any of you get it? You're doing exactly what he wants you to. Wake the fuck up! You're playing right into his hands. He set up a pitfall, and you all just jumped right in. You're all puppets, and this man is pulling your strings. Those on the left attack those on the right. Those on the right defend themselves. Those on the left double down, and the whole thing snowballs until you end up completing his job for him. It's happening right now. It's happening with those who blame Chelsea Clinton. It's happening with those who blame PewDiePie and Gamergate. I've even seen it from people that I respect. I'm looking at you, Triggers McNickers. I never expected you to willingly fall into the same ideological traps that you berate the left for. I expected better of you. I expected better of the lot of you. It enrages me to no end to watch the same charade of tragedy and comedy play out over and over again, with very little alterations to the script. It's gotten to the point where I can predict with precise accuracy exactly how the battle lines will be drawn. The left will cry, ban guns, Islamophobia is to blame, expand hate speech laws, and the right will cry, censorship, Second Amendment, Muslims are to blame. You are all puppets. You do the same thing every time and expect a different result. You ignore the underlying issues that are causing the problem, which you are trying so ineptly to solve. And for those calling for more social ostracism of the alt-right, do you know what every single mass killer in modern history has in common? They were all socially ostracized. They were all outcasts. They all felt isolated from society and from the world at large. And you know what? I could have been one of these people. That's right. I could have ended up as a mass shooter. I had all the signs. I had all the character traits. Do you have any idea what altered my path? Do you know what changed my future? People. People who cared about me. People who loved me. People who refused to give up on me, despite the pain that I caused them. They saved me. They made a monster into a man. But what would have happened if those people had just said, fuck him, he's a lost cause, and left? I don't like to think about that. An alternate future such as that is too terrible to contemplate. Fortunately, I'll never have to find out what might have been. I was saved. My friends saved me. My family saved me. Love saved me. The people who cared about me created impenetrable barriers which shielded me from the monster inside me. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Do you want to know the secret to happiness? Do you want to know the secret to peace? Do you want to know how to save this world? The secret has been right in front of you this whole time. It's love, it's empathy, it's compassion for all living things, no matter how scary you might find them. Love saves us. Love lifts us up and turns us into something better. If you seek to defeat this man, don't hold a grudge. Instead, hold out a hand. Don't embrace your hate, instead embrace your enemy. Don't tear each other down, instead lift each other up. Don't rip each other apart, instead pull each other together. We all have to live together on this little ball of dirt as it lies suspended in a sunbeam. Hurting each other hurts you. You have to choose what kind of future you want for your children, for your grandchildren, and for your great-grandchildren, and so on and so forth. You can choose to prove this man right, to embrace every dark impulse you have inside you, or you can choose to say, I'm not like you. I'm not who you think I am, and I will never be what you want me to be. I'm not playing your game. I'm going to be better. And then you can join hands with your enemies and work together to create a future where every human being can live without fear. But I can't make this decision for you. The choice is yours to make. The future is in your hands. What story do your hands tell? Do they hold the flower of peace, or do they brandish the sword of hate? Will they be cleansed with water, or will they be stained with blood? It is you that must decide. Choose, but take care. The world will not wait forever. We are coming ever closer to the point of no return. Your choices could be our salvation, or they could lead us to ruin. You must decide how the great human performance will play out. What will you decide? Well, this looks like the end. The hour grows late, and I've kept you far too long. Why don't I let you depart my castle and go home to your warm, flickering fires and soft, comfy beds? As you tuck yourselves in, think about what kind of future you want for our world. Think about how you can best improve the lives of others. And when you wake up in the morning, make a change. I'm the Deputy of Common Sense. I dispense swift justice to those who aren't so swift. And remember, every time you embrace your fear, every time you let hate guide your actions, you are letting this man win. Do not let him win. Never let him win. Take a better path.
Ignoring what he's done in the past, blindly, stupidly disregarding the entire graveyards he's filled, the thousands who have suffered, the friends he's crippled. You know, I thought I'd be the last person you'd ever let him hurt. If it had been you that he'd beat to a bloody pulp, if he had taken you from this world, I would have done nothing but search the planet for this pathetic pile of evil death-worshipping garbage and send him off to hell.
You don't understand. I don't think you've ever understood.
What? What, your moral code just won't allow for that? It's too hard to cross that line?
No! God Almighty, no! It'd be too damned easy. All I've ever wanted to do is kill him. A day doesn't go by when I don't think about subjecting him to every horrendous torture he's dealt out to others, and then end him.
Aw, so you do think about me.
But if I do that, if I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back.